Yeah, we are laying up good stuff. Yeah.
Hey guys, this is Backdraft and welcome to another episode on the Symmetria server. This is episode number 13. Thank you so much for joining me today. And you're probably wondering where I am. I am on top of our brand new Terran Viking. Yes, the StarCraft continues. The StarCraft fans of the server are coming through for me, and it's amazing. I still have to get over to that battle cruiser and build my stateroom. But anyway, we now have our very own Viking, courtesy of the one and only Boofty, our friend from across the pond. And he has given, look at this thing, it's crazy. Let me do a quick fly around so you can see it from far away. Look at it. If you are familiar with how Vikings are in StarCraft 2, this thing is like dead center, perfect. It's amazing. George, that's my dog. Why do you keep making so much noise? He just wants to be loved. This thing is outfit with references and everything. That's a weird nexus there. So apparently he's trying to say that my Agrabah Palace looks like a Protoss nexus. I never even considered it. There he goes again. I don't know if you guys can ever hear him in the background, but I do record 99% of my videos with a 100-pound black lab on my lap. But anyway, we have gifts. What do we got? Oh my god, yes. We can always use more warped wood. Golden Discord, you'll sure love this warp gate. More StarCraft references. Put it in the comments if you get the StarCraft references, by the way. Golden Disc Award. What do we got here? Yes! Yes! Always coming through with the clutch. Thank you so much, Boofty. We will put all this to very good use. More music discs. We're gonna have to put a jukebox somewhere in the palace. I'm not sure where, maybe in the bedroom, but we're gonna have to blast some of this music. Jukebox hero gets he's a jukebox hero. Jukebox hero. So what work that was done off camera since last episode, you may have already noticed, but I got sick of being rained down, that's a lot of clicks, being rained down on by creepers and other miscellaneous mobs from the tops of these spires and around the rest of my base. So I have mob-proofed pretty much the entire base. And on top of the spires, as you can see, I have used gold pressure plates, which put quite a big dent in my gold stocks. I think we're down to about a chest and a half now, which means I used a whole half a double chest full of gold blocks just to get enough pressure plates for the spires to mob proof all of that. But that's okay. We were gonna need those eventually anyway, because that was the plan once we replaced all the concrete with gold blocks. And on top of these walls here, I actually replaced the top with slabs because there was a bunch of mobs spawning on top of here. And I walked all the way around the base, checked all the nooks and crannies, and was able to light up every single spot so that the base is now completely mob proof. Next up, this big gigantic flat area, but we'll do that some other time. So plans for the rest of this episode, there are a few redstone projects that we need to get to over at Minever that I have been putting off. Sorry to those who have been waiting a while on those. But on the other hand, the gaming district on this server will be opening up very, very soon. And the entrance to that is right over here. And here is the entrance to where the gaming district will be in the overworld. This is the nether hub, I guess, for the gaming district. It's not done yet, and the gaming district is not open, but when it does open, I have hinted a few times this season that we are going to be building a very, very big and awesome game for the rest of the Symmetrians to play and compete with each other in. But before we do that, I have actually been designing a much smaller game, which will be just as fun and will be super quick. And I'm pretty sure this is a unique game. I haven't seen anything like this similar out there, but let me show you guys what we have in the works. We popped over to the creative server so I can show you guys the game. This is Fire 'em Up. So the point of this game is there are 8 target blocks above you. You can add more if you want. And the point is to hit them using a given number of firework rockets. So it'd probably be easiest if I just read the rules, and it'll be pretty self-explanatory from there. So here are the rules. Welcome to Fire 'em Up. There are 8 targets above you. Your job is to hit all 8 targets using the given firework rockets. Click the ground below the target with the rocket and pray that it hits. The game is over either when you've hit all the targets or when you run out of rockets. You can challenge yourself by trying easy, medium, or hard mode. Each mode gives you a different amount of rockets. Hit the button above this book to start a new game. You can put your high scores in the high score book behind you. Good luck, have fun. Alrighty, so right here we have some barrels. The leftmost barrel is easy mode, which gives you 24 rockets. The middle barrel is medium, which gives you 16 rockets. And the rightmost barrel is hard, which gives you 8 rockets. So essentially, since there's 8 targets, hard mode means you only get 1 try per target. Medium means you get 2 tries per target. And hard or easy is you get 24 rockets per target. So I'll just grab some of these rockets. For the record, they are flight duration 2 because they do have to travel a certain length. So the idea would be to start a new game is you just hit this button, all of the targets will reset and the score will reset. And then you kind of line it up. So if I stand right here, that looks about right. And I fire off the rocket and you can see I missed. There's a little bit of RNG to this because sometimes the rockets will veer off path. And when I hit the target, as you can see, target gets blocked. I get 1 on my score and there's a little jingle that plays. So I'll try to hit this one now. All right, so I hit that one. Some of them are a little easier because this one's right up against the wall. I know kind of where to stand. And there we go. So each time you hit a target, you get the jingle, blocks the target off, and you get +1 on the counter. So I have been able to get a perfect score on hard, although it is a little challenging. It's not always guaranteed that you're gonna get a high score depending on what you're doing, especially if you're on hard. But yeah, let's take a look at some of the redstone. So you're now inside the game above the target area, and here are each of the little modules for each of the targets. And I'll try to do my best to explain to you in as English as possible what each of these things are doing. So when you hit this target block, what's happening is the activator rails are being activated because we have 2 torches, one right there and one right here. This one is constantly deactivated and this one's constantly active. So when the target activates, this torch deactivates, this one activates, which turns on this activator rail, which then fires off this observer, which will then power this piston. Now, you may be thinking, well, wait a second, how does it power the piston? Well, this is all through bud powering. This design was originally done by myself. I did tweak it a little bit and then asked for some help from one of the guys on the server who goes by the name of Zavam, who is a redstone wizard, and he helped me compact it a little bit and work out a couple of the kinks. So just to demonstrate what happens, I'll just grab a snowball here and we can hit the target block with that. So essentially what happens is it's just a 0-tick pulse onto the piston, which causes it to block off the target. If you do it again, it simply just pulls it back. And you can hear the jingle going every time it's hit. So the jingle line is this line right here. It's connected to each target and it all feeds into these note blocks over here, which then plays the jingle every time each target is hit. This secondary line here, which runs all the way back over here and goes down to the button that we hit to start a new game. So that will throttle all of the pistons and ensure that all of the target blocks are exposed, and it will also reset the score, which is the module that is down there. And, perfect segue, that's the next module we're going to talk about. So the redstone for the scoring system is probably one of the craziest pieces of redstone wizardry that I have ever seen. This is what's known as a memory cell, and it was developed once again by another gentleman from the server by the name of Zavon, who, as I mentioned, is a redstone wizard. And it is probably easiest if I just explain this by taking you outside for a quick second. Just outside of the game, I've set up this memory cell, and I'm going to do my best to explain, like I said before, as in plain English as possible, how this thing is working. It is pretty crazy, so if I lose you, I'm sorry. But essentially what is happening is this comparator is currently receiving power 14 through the back. And on the side, through this comparator, notice they're both in subtract mode as well, this comparator has power 14. So since this is in subtract mode, it's receiving 14 from this way and 14 from this way. Therefore, the signal strength is currently 0. Now, if I throttle it by activating this repeater, which would turn this dust to a power of 15, I would very, very quickly have 15 this way and 14 this way, meaning that this comparator will have an output signal strength of 1. And I'll demonstrate that right now. So as you can see now, this comparator is powered and the signal strength is 1. Now, because this comparator is active and facing into this block, This piece of redstone is now powered with the signal strength from this comparator. So what's happening is, since this comparator currently has a power of 1, and this piece of redstone is feeding into this comparator here, and since this one's a subtract mode, I have 1 over here, 14 over here. The power from this comparator is 13. 14 minus 13 is power of 1. Now you're probably wondering why that works. Well, it's all dependent on this mechanic here. If I feed in a comparator to a block, any adjacent pieces of redstone to that block are also powered with the same signal strength from that. Well, it could be a repeater as well, but from that comparator in this case. So when I throttle it again, what's going to happen is this will flash 15 very quickly. 15 minus 13 is a power level of 2. So you can see we now have power 2 in this piece, which is feeding into this comparator once again. 14 minus 2 is now power level 12. 14 minus 12 is 2. So now we have a signal strength of 2, and 2 of the lamps are lit. That is essentially how we are doing the scoring system. So every time that comparator is throttled, we get +1 signal strength, and the lamps subsequently will light up. To reset it, you simply need to depower this comparator, and that is done through this line here. And once it is depowered, the whole thing resets, and I can start over again. If your brain is a steaming pile of scrambled eggs right now, don't feel bad. This is a super confusing contraption that took me quite a while to understand. So that's all the details of the game. Please leave your thoughts down in the comments. Is there any way I can improve this or make it more fun or change it up a bit? Because this is an original game that I did some head scratching on and was able to come up with on my own. Once the gaming district is up and running on the server, I will be throwing this bad boy down. So since my brain is completely weird, I have just noticed that I am pretty much almost out of coal and pretty much out of cobblestone. And the last couple times I needed cobblestone, I kind of just dug down for a little while and grabbed as much cobblestone as I needed. And I don't really like the idea of that. So I think what we're gonna do, we haven't done this in a while, we're actually gonna go ahead and do some mining. I'm gonna take the next few hours and just mine as much as possible. And this will also get our diamond count up as well. And whatever other resources we find, we will be sure to add to the storage system. So I don't know if I'm gonna do a time lapse this time around or if I'm just gonna give you guys progress updates. I don't know if this is a time lapse kind of episode. That gold block should not be there. Anyway, I don't know if this will be a time lapse kind of episode. I may just give you guys some progress updates, but we are gonna get to mining. I cannot believe I did not just get that on film. That has got to be the worst luck in the world. And you're probably wondering what I'm talking about. So I was coming back to dump off some of the resources that I just mined, and a creeper came up. I don't know where the creeper came from, and it exploded, blew up the chests that I had here, which had pretty much all the items that I mined. And then a second creeper came up, pretty much at the same location, and blew up. And because of that, all of the items that were on the floor just disappeared, which included about 30 to 40 diamonds or so. That's about an hour of my life down the drain that I'll never get back. So we've been mining for about an hour and a half or so total. Whew. Anyway, we've been mining for about an hour and a half or so total, and I'll show you in a sec the amount of loot that we have. Quite a bit, minus the resources that we lost from those creepers. But what we have right now is about 53 diamonds, about 2, and then some stacks of redstone blocks, almost a stack of coal, and tons of lapis for some reason. I'm not sure why we're getting so much lapis, but that much lapis. And then I've also kind of been switching up between my fortune pick and my silk touch pick so that we can get some stone and so that we can get some cobblestone, which is what I've been after. So about half of this I've mined out with my fortune pick so that we can get more cobblestone. But anyway, I think I'm gonna mine out this entire 100 by 100 area, and then I think we'll do one more 100 by 100 area just because I feel like mining. It's one of those days. I'm relaxing, I'm vibing out to some tunes, and I'm just doing some mining. I mean, what else is Minecraft good for if not to mine? You gotta mine every now and then, right? Anyway, I'm gonna press on. Another progress update. We are now about halfway through the second hundo by hundo area, and this is what we've got so far. Not too shabby. Over 2 stacks of diamonds, which is super awesome. And we've already been able to fill up about 2 double chests of cobblestone and 2 double chests of stone, which is really what I was after with this. And of course, the coal is a big plus. The lapis and the redstone are always nice to have as well. So once we finish up this area, we will be all set. All done. Our little chillaxin' connectin' mining session was a great success. I have the haul right here in these 2 shulker boxes behind me. This is what we ended up with. That, ladies and gents, is over 200 diamonds. Not bad. It was only a couple hours of work. Not too shabby at all. Tons of redstone, tons of lapis, tons of iron and gold, which I'm not too crazy about. Bunch of flint, which is really cool. And then another good one is we got a ton of coal because I really needed to replenish my coal stocks. We're running really low on that. And of course, we got tons of stone, tons of cobblestone, way more than I even know what to do with right now because our storage system is chock full to the brim with stone and cobblestone. Well, that was fun. Not a bad haul at all. So we got our hands dirty with another redstone project. Our buddy Dark Solid, aka Light Liquid, lol, has asked for some help with creating a combination lock. And as you can see behind me, we have done just that. And this thing is nuts. This is probably the craziest redstone contraption I have ever built. And for the record, I did not come up with this. This is a design that I learned elsewhere. But either way, I'm gonna try and explain this as best as I can. So, with each of these buttons, they are numbered 1 through 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this part of the contraption is rigged such that each of the buttons will emit a signal strength corresponding to where they are in the list. So the first button will emit a signal strength of 1, the second one a signal strength of 2, etc., all the way to 9, where the 9th button will emit a signal strength of 9. Now, each of these chests represents a number in the combination. So this combination lock has 4 numbers, I guess is what you would call them, within the combination. So the signal strength is coming from these comparators here and shooting all the way down. So this would be the first button in the combination. So in order to set the number that you want, you have to put items into these chests. So if I have a single item in the chest that represents that, that's the number 1. And then from there, you kind of got to use non-stackable items. I mean, you can use stackable items if you want, but it gets a little weird. So in this case, we're using shovels. So 4 shovels represents the number 3. That's 8 shovels represents the number 5. And then that's 9 plus 7. So 16 shovels represents the number 9. So for every 2 shovels, it's another number. It's kind of hard to explain. I'm sorry. This thing's kind of complicated. But anyway, what's happening here is we will get the signal strength from the button. So if it shoots down here, we'll get the signal strength from the button. This comparator here is what's firing off a signal based on what's in this hopper. It's going to throttle that hopper, and the signal is going to carry down. So this comparator here is comparing the signal strength from behind it and the signal strength from the side, and since it's in subtract mode, and determining whether or not to carry the signal forward. Now, what determines if the signal carries forward is if the signal strength from the button matches the signal strength that's coming from this chest, from this comparator here. If the signal strength matches, this comparator and this repeater will be turned off, and the signal will be allowed to pass through and then go to this locked repeater. So let me demonstrate that right now. If I've lost you, I'm sorry. I'm gonna hit that button, and since it was correct, you can now see that this repeater is lit. Now, the next button in the combination is number 3, which is this one right here. But if I hit the wrong one, the whole thing starts over. So as you can see, this repeater would have been the next one to get activated, but it doesn't. It starts over because I hit the wrong number in the combination. So if I hit 1, and then I hit 3, you can see the signal coming down. Then I hit 5, then I hit 9. The note block activates because we've entered the right combination. Now this is a little weird how this works. I'm gonna try to explain the locking repeater part of it. So essentially with locking repeaters, if I have a repeater that's locked like this, you'll see the little bedrock texture thingy appears above it. And if it's locked, no matter what signal I pass into it, it will not carry it forward, as you can see here. But if you unlock it, it will then take the signal. And if you lock it again after it's been locked and unlocked, it will maintain that signal. So that's essentially what's happening here. So as I push the first button in the combination, that repeater, it was really quick. Sorry if you didn't see it, but it was unlocked quickly and then locked again. So now it's holding that signal, waiting for the next input. So since this one is the number 3, if the signal strength from here is 3 and matches the signal strength from the chest, which is 3, these two will be unlocked, unlocking this comparator that's in subtract mode and passing the signal on to this repeater, which is then deactivated, the signal's passed to it, and then locked again, waiting for the next number. Sorry if that was uber confusing. It's pretty complicated redstone, but it is super awesome. And if you want to make a combination with more than just 4 numbers, you would just have to expand this out and add in one of these gigantic modules in for each of the numbers. So once again, I've already hit the first number. If I hit the 3, and then the 5, and then the 9, we get the correct combination. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'm actually gonna link a video in the description for the tutorial on building this combination lock. I am completely mined and redstoned out. Enough for one episode. That is all the time I have for today, ladies and gents. Please stay tuned for when we will be throwing our game up in the gaming district, hopefully in the next episode, if not in the one following that. And stay tuned for a new 3-minute tutorial video, which I will be hopefully throwing out in the next couple days after this video is released. If you like this video, please do not hesitate to hit that thumbs up. And if you're looking forward to future episodes on the Symmetria server, then be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications. I am currently trying to hit 500 subscribers, and the majority of you that watch my videos are not subscribed. So please be sure to hit that subscribe button if you are frequenting my videos. Once I hit 500 subscribers, I will be doing a face reveal live stream and hopefully be doing some more live streams on this server. I don't live stream enough, and that makes me very, very upset. So please help me get to 500 so I can live stream. And I'll see you guys again. Take care. Bye-bye.